that time to dive into new products. Okay, well, speaking of wood filament, guess what we have?
We has it.
We have it.
So here's this. It's called bambooFill, and it comes on this really nice reel, and I've got it here. And as you print it, it kind of has this like kind of yellowish brown color. But again, if you use those techniques that Noah and Pedro talked about in the video, just for look and learn for their tutorial, you can make it look totally awesome, like this sword, which looks just like wood, which we've shown off like 4 times because it's such a great sword. So if you have a printer and you don't need a heated base, I believe, for this, although it might help. But check out the specs. I think this is a great way to make props or anything that kind of looks and feels like wood, even though it's bamboo, but it has a little bit of like a weathered pine look to it.
Okay. Next up. This is really neat.
Toggle clamp.
Yeah, so we got a toggle clamp. What I like when we put things in the store because we like them and use them. So this toggle clamp we actually use for our testers.
I got them for me, but I was just like, this toggle clamp is so great. I want to carry it.
Yeah.
So here, wow, it worked. Oh, it's a video. Nice work.
Yeah, I put a video in.
I thought it was an animated GIF, and I was like, hey, when did this start?
No, it's a video that's just going to play on loop. So you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so this toggle clamp, it's actually just this part. And basically, it's just a medium-sized toggle clamp. You might want to have a base for it, like to have it be the right height or however you want to mount it. We just 3D printed this little base. And then it has a handle, and it's just a quick handle. You clip it down. It has a nice clip to it. And then it holds down your PCB. In this case, it's a FONA tester. So with the FONA, the test takes about like 60, 90 seconds. And so it's too long to hold down by hand. So using a clamp means you have like this perfect pressure on the PCB to have it placed against the pogo pins. So the letter of the day should have been P for all those P's in that description. But I use these clamps for our testers that take a while to test. And they're awesome. This is like the best clamp ever. And it's totally durable. It lasts forever. And it's got a little bit of adjustment to it, really easy to use. It has like this rubber thumb thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love this toggle clamp. I just love test equipment parts. So
okay.
That's me.
And you know it's good because it is Adafruit used and tested here.
Yeah, we grabbed 20 of them when they came. We ordered 100 and we grabbed 20 for our testers.
Yeah.
And but we also have them for you, our fine audience.
Okay. So next up, you just put this in the store. This is
PiTFT hat.
Yeah, you're getting good at these.
Okay, so no, there's even more coming, by the way. But if you love the PiTFT, and I know you do, you might be wondering like, wow, it would be so cool if I had a hat-sized version. And I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. And we made one. Now the thing is, the 2.8-inch TFT that we used on the PiTFT, the classic, it's a little bit too large for a hat. It kind of would overhang. So what we did is we shrunk it down to a 2.4-inch display. It's the same resolution, it's the same layout, the same speed, the same colors, the same touchscreen. It's just a little bit smaller. Otherwise, other than this, just shrinking it down, it acts completely the same as to the PiTFT that people know and love, but it's in a full hat shape. It's a little bit smaller, but it's fine. You can still touch it, and it looks a little crisper because the resolution is a tighter fit, to more DPI or whatever. All right, can we click on the next photo?
Yeah, so we have a few of
So here's actually here's the magic. So this is a Raspberry Pi 8 Plus, which is the small version, and you can see the PiTFT 2.4-inch hat fits right on top, and inside of the case, and you can even put the cover on top if you like, but it's exactly the same size as the 8 Plus.
Pink?
Large. B Plus style? A Plus style.
Wow.
Yay.
That's why you can make like the really cool Game Girl projects and stuff. This is tiny.
So this is going to be in the Pocket Game Girl because it's basically compatible, but it's just a little smaller.
Yeah.
And here you can show it just text mode as well.
Yeah.
And it's just showing how it fits in the case nicely. Showing it off.
This is cool. It's a little tiny Linux computer. Like it has like everything. This is neat.
Yeah. Oh, can I show something? I'll show something really quick just on the show off. So here's the display, and you can see it's just this cute little, and I can touch and do stuff. And I made it so you can actually plug in a standard GPIO cable off the edge. If you go to the product page, you can see the more detailed photos. But so you can have a cable connected for bringing out the pins. So if you want to connect sensors or whatever, the display only uses like the SPI pins plus 2 others. You have tons more pin available if you want to have like sensors or LEDs or switches or rotary encoders or whatever you want. So you just get the standard 26-pin GPIO cable that comes out the edge. So if you want to have it do other stuff, you can do so. But I think like people wanted to have like a little mini version, especially if you have an A+. You now have like a touch version of this display that fits into a hat.
Okay.
Very nice. And you can close the cover on top if you like as well.
Okay.
But I like to, otherwise you wouldn't be able to touch it.
Next up, I like this one. This is a really neat product. This is our new.
And neat, by neat, you mean insanely bright.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show the photos before we go to the.
Yeah, it's actually really hard to see from the over the.
Well, this
video.
is with it on and off, and then I have a little bit of a video that might be helpful for people to see. So this is without it being the brightest thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Sorry, I just blinded you.
Don't worry, we're gonna go to the video and our live feed. Okay. So there, I can't even see.
Yeah, it's just crazy bright. So this is a disc.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing you can do too.
Try the diffusing?
Well, you could at least start to. No, it does
Totally
nothing.
not.
Okay, wait. Let me get like two. Let's see if that's helpful at all.
It's too bright.
Everything
we can
is too
see.
bright.
It's just way too bright. We don't have the. We have to have another camera control person. So, hi, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you've got like 250 LEDs. Bye. Okay, you're in.
Well, no, I was going to turn off the lights and just see what happens. I don't know if it'll get better or worse.
It's just going to be really bright.
Does anything useful happen?
No, I think we need to be.
I can go the other way too. Does it even worse?
No, we don't know anything about.
No, I just want to try both.
Camera control.
We know everything. Here.
Yeah, it's kind of coming through a little bit. Okay, yeah, I can turn. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of showing it. Look, it's bright. I don't have to tell you guys. It's good.
Yeah. Should I come back?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, like it's just this disc of sun. This is 255 DotStar LEDs on it.
Yeah.
And each one is individually addressable. And you need a 10 amp power supply. And please don't blind your fill. I'm gonna turn this off.
Yeah,
this is
can you turn
ridiculous.
it off?
Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
So it's a white disc, and you've got two connectors on each side, and you can control it with any kind of Arduino microcontroller. It's DotStar LEDs, not NeoPixel, so it has 2-wire connector SPI instead of the 1-wire NeoPixel. That's good. It means you can use just about any microcontroller to control this because it's just like basically SPI.
Yeah, I can't say. So not only did it go in this eye, but then when I looked that way, it reflected off the screen indirectly. It's cool.
I'm sorry.
The things I'm seeing.
I actually was like, why should we even carry this? It's kind of ridiculous and insane, but I thought it would just be funny because it's just this gigantic disc.
It is pretty funny.
Full of LEDs. Anyways, lovely.
Okay.
Make something gorgeous with it. Maybe a spinning Apple Beach ball.
We've got two big products to talk about.
Okay. Whew. Not just physically large.
Yeah. So it's Nimbus, the friendly Internet of Things entity.
Cloud.
Yeah.
Beast.
I thought the cloud entity would come by every time we released a new Internet of Things product. So
that's nice.
This week is HUZZAH. Isn't that a cool logo?
That's a sweet logo.
Yeah. So
who came up with that logo?
That was Bruce. Yeah, and I challenged him. I said, Bruce, we got to come up with like a data in out thing, and that FedEx logo is the best logo ever. We got to come up with something like that.
Okay,
so
and
that's
they did it.
That's where HUZZAH came from, because we wanted to show that data came in and out, and we have the two Z's, so
and
it
then
kind of works.
There's the two arrows.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our
nice use of negative space.
Yeah, this is our new Internet of Things product. It's a low-cost Wi-Fi module.
Okay.
And
let me hydrate.
Yeah.
And then let's. Can you pop me up next to this?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And we call it HUZZAH because that's easy to use.
Wow, nice little logo action
And it's
there.
a ESP8266, and it's $9.95.
Okay.
Sold.
Sold.
Okay, so
actually they did sell out, unfortunately.
Yeah. What is this thing, and why did it?
Okay.
Why do we like this?
So this, I don't have a demo for this because we will do demos, but since I don't have a live demo, I thought I would just talk about it. This is the HUZZAH basic breakout for the ESP8266, which is this processor from Espresso that's been very popular in the hacker community. We have these other little modules that use this chip, but this module is way better, and I'll explain why this one's better. First off, it has a lot of breakouts. So all the pins on the top and the bottom are GPIO pins. You get like 9 GPIO pins that you can control from within the processor itself. It also has mounting holes, and it has a tin can over the module. And the module that we use is also FCC and CE certified. So it has emitter certification FCC. So if you're designing a project or a product with it, it makes it much easier for you to finish your FCC certification.
Yeah.
You still have to do it.
It's more helpful.
But you can be like, hey, this part's certified, and you can skip that part
Yeah.
and just certify the extra parts around it that are active. This Breakout doesn't have any active parts. It doesn't have a microcontroller on it, which is kind of interesting. Like, I didn't put an Arduino chip or like at Mega 32U4 or Cortex M3 on there. Instead, what this module does is you can program the chip that's in that little tin can directly. The ESP8266 has a compiler for it that has been ported to the Arduino IDE, for example. There's also been a Lua scripting language port for this processor. It's like an 80 megahertz processor. So you can actually write code directly on that module, sort of like a Spark core or an electric amp similar to that. And then instead of using another microcontroller like an Arduino with it, you would just program it directly. And so that makes it like really, really low cost because you don't have to have two things. You only need this one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mirror reflections, that thing.
Yeah.
And so this Breakout has a regulator for you, really good 3-volt regulator. It has that. It has two buttons, one for reset and one that'll help you bootload. Has an LED, has the Breakout pins, and then right here, man, I'm not good at this. Yeah, this way. Sorry. On this edge here, there's a 6-pin FTDI Breakout. So to program it, either with Lua or with Arduino, you would plug in a console cable or an FTDI cable, as shown here. Thank you, Kind Assistant, for having that image ready. And you can program it, and then when you're done, you unplug it, and you're ready to go. So it's breadboard friendly. You get 2 rows on one side and 1 row on the other side of a breadboard. You just solder some headers onto it, and you are off to the races. So I think this is kind of a fun, easy way to add Internet of Things. It's extremely fast Wi-Fi. Like, it's really tough to say, hey, use the CC3000 when this exists. It works pretty damn well. Even though it's only $10. So
Yeah.
I think this is really neat. Like, normally I'd be like, I don't want to undercut, the CC3000, which I think is a great Wi-Fi chip, but like this chip is so awesome. It has like built-in like DNS and everything, and the scripting, the Lua scripting language is really easy to use, and the Arduino support works really well. Like, you can be up and running in like 10 minutes. So we sold out in like an hour, but we're gonna make more.
Yeah.
And
we didn't open it up to resellers yet either. So the first round of the general public will get it. We know this is going to be a top seller because of the price point and because the interest in this module. So we'll see.
Anyways,
someone wants to know, does the HUZZAH use someone else's ESP NN module? Which one is it?
Yeah, this is not a module. I mean, I don't remember the exact part number. It says like ESP8266 mod. I don't make modules if I can avoid it because there's not much point.
Yeah.
And I'd rather do the pick and placing, like the module making. This seller had these modules ready to go. And so you can sort of see the outline of the module. It's blue, so it kind of fades in very well.
It looks like it's part of the board.
It looks like it's part of it, but it's actually just a module that's placed on top with all the components. And so this is just a breakout for that module with all those pins broken out and the extra circuitry to help you use it with Lua Arduino IDE. But we'll also eventually have the raw module in the store as well. We're using them for the pick and place right now.
Okay. And next up, the other star of the show tonight, besides you, it is Metro. All right. And that is the debut of the Metro.
Yes,
now,
it's many months in the working.
Actually, years.
Okay.
But we had this as a coming soon.
Technically, yes.
We had this as a coming soon for a while, and we showed it off on some others. It's not out yet. Don't ask. So this is it. It's our Arduino compatible that we have. We like kind of this like New York theme. We called it Metro because we think it's cool to have like a train line and like maybe you'll learn things on the different lines.
I like that it's got like the mag stripe on the back. It looks like something you could swipe through.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take a tour of this board?
Yeah. I
Okay.
guess the big question that I know everyone's going to have is like, So I consider you kind of an expert in the Arduino ecosystem. So what are all the cool things, and what are the reasons you made the Metro? Like, what's unique about it?
Okay, well, to start off, this is not a replacement for an Arduino Uno. You should definitely, if you're starting out, get an Arduino Uno, like without question. Like that is the way to go. This is something I kind of designed for myself and more advanced engineers who have certain things that they really want to be able to do or want to hack into an Arduino that isn't possible to do. So can you go to the next page?
Yeah.
I love the spinning thing, but I need to.
Yeah, no, I know it's distracting. Well, this is another example. Like, you make tools sometimes for yourself, and you're like, that's really useful. So I've seen your Metro on your desk for a really long time, and I was like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, like I have these things that I have to test this thing. That's what you sound like when I talk to you.
Yeah, it's what it sounds like. Can you put up the, or actually, can you go to here and then pop up the,
yeah, let's go
pop up the secondary thing?
A little mini vision of you.
Yeah, mini vision. Hello.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a couple things going on here. So number one, this uses a micro USB cable, not a USB size cable. I did that because all I have is micro USB cables now. I actually don't have that many USB cables around, and I wanted to have a slim connector to plug in. It also uses an FTDI chip instead of an Atmega 16U2. The Atmega 16U2, which is on the Uno, is really cool, and it allows you to do advanced stuff like turn it into a MIDI controller and stuff, and it doesn't have as much of the reset bounce when it starts. However, I actually do really like the FTDI chips because the driver handles disconnects a lot better, I've noticed. So like I keep having, I'm always doing stuff where like I end up like really screwing with the Arduino, like I'm shorting the power, I'm drawing too much current, or like I'm like whatever, I have some polarity problems. And so the Arduino, the 3-volt and the 5-volt power supply often bounces around, and 16U2 sometimes doesn't like it. And for most people, this isn't a big deal because they're not usually like doing that much prototyping with it. But like this is something that I end up doing a lot of. So having the FTDI chip, it's a little bit more like durable for voltage dips. Okay, and then below that, all the way over there, I also put the 4 LEDs that are indicators on the Metro all on the edge. So normally you would have like the power and the RX and TX and LED sort of like mixed around. There's like a party going on outside. Mixed around the board. But the problem is if you have a shield on top, like when we make like a tester, you can't see the LEDs. So hello. You can't see the LEDs so well because you've got all the stuff on top of it. So for the testers I made, I want the LEDs to be on the edge so I can see when the LED is blinking. Is there like a protest going on outside?
Yeah, most of the world is in protest right now.
All right, intense. Wow, they're loud.
All right.
Okay.
This is why we do a live show. There's actually important world events that are going on right now. There's a lot of people in New York getting together because of police brutality, and it's
they're like outside our window.
And it's you know what, I think it's fantastic because every city should take a hard look at how they treat people, their own people.
All right.
Just saying. We don't get political here at Adafruit, but it's really neat when people come together, they have a peaceful demonstration about changes they want to see, and
they're making their voices heard.
There's some messed up things going on. We like America, and Americans, what's wrong with America can be fixed by Americans, I think.
All right.
Yeah, anyways.
We make the future.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of people outside.
There's a lot of people outside.
I believe the protest it went from Union Square, and then it went down. Now everyone's cutting over.
Maybe they're coming to Adafruit. Should I continue the Metro thing, or
yeah?
Do you want to join them?
Well, if we weren't doing the show tonight, we would. We probably would have been there.
Boots on. Okay.
Anyways.
All right, continue. Okay, so underneath the 4 LEDs that are all the way on the edge there, there's an on-off switch. And another thing that kind of like I really wish I could do with my Arduino testers is be able to cycle the power. So this on-off switch is connected to PassFET, which will disconnect and reconnect power from the DC jack only. So if you're plugged into a battery pack or something, you can turn it off. You know, especially if you have a 9-volt connected and you want to be able to turn it on and off, like from the board. It's on the edge. You can kind of reach your finger in and flick the switch. And then the other thing that I added, which is like I use this all the time, is like kind of like over there. There's like the 2 capacitors. There's a little thing that says IO3V5. That's a GPIO voltage switch. So you can switch from 5-volt logic, which is kind of the default, to 3.3-volt logic, which is really great if you have something that's only 3-volt logic and you don't want to have to get your level shifters out and you just want to like connect all the pins and just get going. The guys who do that all the time. And even though it's considered like overclocking, and at Mega 328, you can pretty much do it. Like at Mega 328s don't mind running 16 megahertz at 3 volts. I've never seen a problem with it. So that lets you like connect to 3-volt like displays. I'm usually doing like weird e-ink stuff or like TFTs, and they need 3-volt logic. And so this lets you kind of like quickly, you cut the jumper and you can switch it to 3-volt logic. So you can like work on your project without
This is like your little hacker board.
This is my hacker board. I made this for me. This is actually for the testing, because we have to make like 3 testers or 4 testers a week. And we're constantly like putting like on-off switches on them and like cutting the, I mean, it's just like we should just like design our own that does what we want.
Yeah. Well, you also made this cool thing. It was all of the, it was the traces for the LCDs.
Yeah.
That was
the
cool.
Breakouts.
The breakout. So you made that into a product line.
Yeah, and then what's funny is I made one for the 40-pin displays, because I was just like messing around with 40-pin TTL displays, and I just made that for myself because I was like, oh, I need to have this like boost converter like backlight thing. And then eventually, I put it in the store because I was like, well, other people might do it. And then it turned out to be used in the DPI Keepa. That's what it actually turned into another product, because people were using it with their Raspberry Pis to control displays. And I was like, oh, neat. Like, I'll just like turn that into a hat. And then it became the DPI Keepa that we showed off a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the new products this week, Lady Ada.
I made it.